Okay, ladies and gents, it's time for another Kingdom video. We're going to see if it'll actually record the way it's supposed to. Hopefully, everybody keep their fingers crossed. Okay, so Kingdom Fungi. You have a graphic organizer. Don't forget to fill it in. Don't forget to stop this if you need to. Also, you can turn it down if I talk too loud. So, let's get started. Now, you also can look at this on Prezi. The link is on my website as well, just depending on if you want to hear my voice or if you don't. So, let's start off with our fungi, the cell type. Fungi are eukaryotic organisms. Now, we've talked about in previous videos that eukaryotes have a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, those such things. Now, fungi are the first kingdom we've talked about that can be single-celled or multicellular, depending on what species it is. So, if you've got this species here, these little shelf mushrooms, they're multicellular. They have tissues, things like that. Over here, these are some microscopic fungi. Look really gross, don't they? They are probably growing in somebody's air conditioner. Ugh. All right, so, like I just said, fungi are eukaryotes. Their cells have a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. And right here's a picture of a typical eukaryotic fungal cell. We got a nice little cell wall. We got our endoplasmic reticulum. We got all the organelles over here. Now, the cell wall, they do have one, but it is different than a plant cell wall. Now, we'll talk about Kingdom Plantae in a minute, but the fungal cell wall is composed mostly of chitin. Now, chitin is just a different material, and it's also the same material that makes up the exoskeleton of arthropods. So, we're going to dissect a crayfish in about a week's time, and you'll get to feel what that exoskeleton feels like. Now, chitin is what makes that up, and it also makes up the cell walls of fungus. Even though if you felt a mushroom, they don't all feel like that exoskeleton. Now, nutritionally, fungi are heterotrophs. They may look a little bit like a plant, but they do not go through photosynthesis. Now, specifically, they are decomposers. They get their nutrition from the breakdown of dead organic matter. Now, this is very important to our life cycle. Before I get to locomotion, it's very important to our life cycle because if we didn't recycle our dead organic materials, we wouldn't get those compounds back and those elements back into the soil, and we also would have a whole bunch of dead stuff laying around. Not good. So fungi are a very vital part of our ecosystem. Now, locomotion-wise, part of the reason they get mistaken for plants is because they are sessile. Sessile means they don't have a form of locomotion. Their spores that they release when they reproduce can get carried on the wind, kind of like seeds do, but once they're growing, they are not moving around. You don't see mushrooms trying to cross the road. Now, short and sweet, right? I thought so. That is a Kingdom Fungi. Just need to know some of the basics. Make sure that your graphic organizer is completely filled out. And if you have any issues, questions, things like that, let me know, and I can always add to this video. Thank you, and have a good evening.